o'clock, and it's time to call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum, and I would like to, first thing, have an opening prayer by Pastor Pam Weeby from the Gathering in Valley View. And if you would, please lead us in prayer and give us some wisdom.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for letting me speak before a few minutes, because I don't think that this is an accident that I'm here on the agenda, since I'm a Valley View pastor, that I was already, okay, I'm going to start crying already, but I was already on the agenda to come pray today. And so I'm representing, and we already been out there this morning, feeding people hot burritos and people gathering from restaurants, little Trails Inn, cooked breakfast this morning, but we're getting to serve that. So I think that we're all here today, and I'm here today. It just shows God's not lost control, and we get to be his precious hands and feet. And you guys up there, what a blessing. And I know you have the heart of the people, and we're seeing the big picture, but I'm getting to see the little pictures and listen to the families and listen to their needs and prayers. And so today, it's my honor to be here. So our Father, you are our Father, and you're so mindful. Lord, I know sometimes we see the big pictures, but you're so personal. You're so personal that you've heard the prayers of those in the night, even last night, who wake up, the moms that are thinking about where's my wedding pictures, or those kids, their favorite toys, and the little things that matter to each individual. So today I'm here representing, not just as a pastor of a church, but as a citizen of Cooke County, born and raised here in Gainesville. Lord, I thank you that you have showed me. Lord, we don't have big wealthy churches in Valley View, but we have wealthy hearts in Valley View, in Cooke County, Lord, that are serving and mindful of the blessings. Lord, I thank you for the churches in Valley View that have just come together, bringing their individual parts. Each church, First Baptist with their gym to house the Red Cross, and us feeding people, and the Methodists clothing people. Lord, I'm seeing you in action, Jesus. You're in action through your people, and so many other organizations and individuals and other churches that are coming together. So today I ask your wisdom to come upon these commissioners, Lord, as they lead the people of this community. And most of all, Father, I pray that we learn how to know our neighbors, how to love our neighbors, and that when these things happen suddenly, there's no suddenly in the relationships. They've already been built. The structures have already been put in place, Lord. I see what's happening in Valley View, our mayor and all those people that's coming together there to do that. They've already been prepared. Lord, and I thank you for that. You already knew what's coming before we get there. Lord, you're the good shepherd. And you said you go before your sheep. And so, Lord, we're your sheep today, but you're the great shepherd. And we call upon you, Lord, as the psalmist David said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Lord, you're going to lead us, Lord, the places we need to go. And even to the valley of the shadow of the death, Lord, if we've grieved with people this week, you are there. I will fear no evil, for thou art with us. We thank you for that. We ask your blessings upon this remainder of this meeting and what's happening right now as I go back to Valley View. Lord, you just lead us to the right people. You are the healer, you're the keeper, and we give you all the glory and praise today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I'd like to thank Pastor Pam Weeby for that. The Gathering Church is just on the north side of the square in Valley View. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you. All right, Commissioner Arndt, if you would you please lead our pledges?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Would like to welcome everybody here today. A lot of people are still out working in Valley View, and so I expect that's the reason for a relatively light crowd today. But before we get started, I'd like to make a couple of comments, and I'd like to thank everyone who has taken part in the efforts at Valley View this weekend. It was such a tragic event. There was loss of life, extensive loss of property, and it took everybody that pitched in to come in and help us. As Pastor Weeby has said, the churches in Valley View opened up, the people in Valley View opened up, but not only the people in Valley View, people from Denton County and Montague County and all over. And we're getting calls from as far away as the White House, believe it or not. The governor was here, visited personally, senators, representatives, you name it. Everybody has been here offering their help. These 4 commissioners right here have spent just a wealth of time down there at Valley View this weekend doing what they're supposed to do in times like this. And I certainly appreciate that. Law enforcement from not only this county, thank you, Sheriff, but from neighboring counties were here. And of course, the emergency management people, and I know I'm going to leave people out, but it was just a wealth of help down at Valley View. And I just want to speak for Cooke County right now and just appreciate everybody who was down there. Do we have any public comments on agenda items? We do not. Okay, item number 6, presentation of life-saving award by Sheriff Ray Sappington, who spent a wealth of time down at Valley View this weekend.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen, and as all you did as well. I think it's fitting this morning that we honor a 911 communications operator for an act in an incident that occurred last month. But as you know, Saturday night when the storm hit, our 911 center lit up. They're the first ones to receive those calls for help and service. And they marshaled a Herculean effort, as you all saw down there. So oftentimes they're the first voices that our citizens hear. They normally never see their faces, but this morning I want you to see a face. So Laura Palmetier, one of our very best, she was involved in a call on April 16th. It was involved a suicidal subject that she discovered, and because of her and the action she took, the manner in which she handled the call, and the appropriate personnel that she sent, that individual is alive today. She's not only been commended by that family, but also the victim as well, who is in a better place now and also has personally thanked her. So let me read this to you. Life-Saving Award presented to 911 operator Laura Palmetier in recognition of your outstanding performance of duties and initiative you took while answering a 911 call on 4/16/24 and the saving of a human life. So we'd like to get a photograph with you. This is yours, ma'am.
Thank you.
Let's go up here. Would y'all want to, give her a hand. You want to take a picture here? You want to step out?
Wherever you would like, Sheriff.
It's up.
These pictures have been turning out pretty good in the light.
Right here.
It's dark out there this
All
morning.
right. Yeah.
It's a Herculean effort. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Item number 7 is the consent agenda. And there are several items on the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion Commissioner Snuggs to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. The consent agenda passes 5-0. Item number 8 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the district attorney's request for funds to be added to the trial expense line and budget amendment for the same.
Good morning. Eric Erlinson here to present this. So I don't like coming in here and asking for money. It seems like that's all we do, but I really don't enjoy doing this. The reason that we need a budget amendment and additional money in our trial expense fund is y'all might know we had a really big trial this year. It really taxed our trial expense fund in a way that hasn't happened in the past. Ordinarily, I think we've been budgeted $20,000, and if I were to look through the prior probably 10 or 15 years, I don't think we've hit that mark with $20,000, and we always try to set it high in case something like this happens. Unfortunately, with this trial, we spent, I'm thinking around, I know the number is about $10,000 in money that for one trial, and we're actually expecting about $7,500 of that to be eventually reimbursed to the county. It won't go into that fund. I spoke with the auditor's office this morning. It's not going to go directly into that fund, so it won't help our expenses this year, but the state is going to reimburse us for those travel expenses that we paid for witnesses, so the county should be getting reimbursed for a good portion of that. However, since it's not going to go into that fund, at this point, we have spent $21,780 of a $22,000 fund. We've got 4 trial months left. Right now, I know we've got at least 4 trials set during those months. The way that Judge does her schedule, we could end up with more than that if she decides to set us on a civil week. So we could end up with 5 or 6 trials actually before our budget year ends. And we need these funds to be able to pay for, really it goes towards hotel expenses for witnesses that are out of county, mileage for witnesses that are out of county. With this trial that we had, we ended up having to pay airfare for multiple people from Nebraska to fly down. And unfortunately, we actually have 2 of the co-defendants for that same case that are currently set for trial this month or this year also. And I can't say for sure if those are going to be trials or not, but it's of course possible that we could have to spend some of that same money again for airfare for the same witnesses to come down and have hotels again. So for that reason, we're asking for $5,000 in additional funds. I've talked to our investigator who organizes all the trial expenses, and I think that should get us through September, and hopefully, as I said, we're going to be getting reimbursed a good portion of that, and it won't actually end up going against the county, but nonetheless, it goes in our budget. So we're requesting an additional $5,000 in trial expenses. Any questions?
I don't see the budget amendment. You got,
We submitted, I'm not sure.
after it gets approved, okay.
I don't know that we had an exact number when we submitted. I know we put it on the agenda for this.
There just wasn't any, usually there's supporting documentation after the request, and then I went back and looked in the budget amendment, I just didn't see it.
I apologize. I have some documents if you want them.
5,000?
5,000. I have. This is the trial expenses.
No, I'm good with it. I just wanted, your request was for 5,000.
What we were
Okay.
requesting, and hopefully if we do that, We're trying to be conservative with that. I don't want to have to come back and ask for more. And as you know, sometimes trials get played out. Hopefully we'll have some smaller trials where we have little to no expense, but you never know, so.
She can't do the budget amendment until we approve it.
Okay, okay.
And to approve it, we needed a number, is what I was thinking, because I didn't see it in any supporting documents that we have. Move to approve.
We have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, to approve the request from the DA's office for $5,000. I'll second that motion. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That motion passed 5-0. Item number 9, and thank you for being here, bringing that. I know you don't like to do that, but you did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
Number 9, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of creating and budgeting an investigator position funded by the SB 22 grant that was received by the district attorney and county attorney's office. And who will speak to this?
You both will, Your Honor.
Okay.
As you know,
Would you identify yourselves?
I'm the county attorney. I'm Ed Zielinski.
Okay.
The comptroller's office is the manager of a fund under SB 22, and after review with them, we were advised that because the statute allows for the prosecutors to designate where funds will go, we have the ability to share an investigator. This investigator will be working on a program of both the investigations of current cases, but as well as a pretrial intervention program that will prevent burdening other departments by using this investigator. So, between the district attorney's office and the county attorney's office, we have additional funds available that will compensate the investigator for salary, insurance, retirement, FICA, and unemployment. And that is all from this SB 22 fund, which will bring taxpayer dollars back into Cooke County for us. Any questions? Okay.
What did the total amount end up being?
The amount between the two of us will end up being total $96,432, and that's $73,000 from the county attorney's funds and $25,000 from the district attorney's funds.
I don't really understand all this. You've already got an investigator, right?
That's correct.
And you want to get another one to do, explain that to me again, please.
Well, we are going to be sharing an investigator, the DA and our office, and we're going to be using that investigator to help us with the pretrial intervention program, which we discussed before with you guys in session. Basically, what this allows us to do is to more formally conduct a program that we've been doing informally and to make it more efficient. And instead of having to increase tax dollars from the county being used, we're getting tax dollars back from the state to be used for this.
The tax dollars from this grant can be used how they see fit. We just have to allow it to go into the budget.
Right.
The, does the pretrial, say the word, is it diversion?
Pretrial intervention.
Okay, does
Right.
it still generate like court cost fees?
If we file the cases, it'll generate that. What the design is to give people who are first-time offenders, no criminal history, nonviolent offenders, an opportunity to be supervised in much like a probation environment. But the difference is they confess to the event, and in the event they fail in the pretrial intervention, then we have a very quick conviction. What this does is it allows us to then use our resources more effectively on the more serious offenses that will need more time. So this is actually a benefit to the community.
It's my understanding that the time has to be identified precisely between the two offices, how that person works for the DA's office and for the county attorney.
Well, actually, what happens is, with the grant direction, the grant managers in Austin require us to respond to them and tell them how we use the grant. That's why we ask them specifically, can we share this investigator? So if, for example, the district attorney's office has a trial that will require more resources, they will have this investigator available to them. But we are going to account for all the use of all the funds that we use under this grant. And the way the grant was written, I talked to Representative Spiller, who is one of the authors of the bill. He explained that it was designed to be used at the discretion of those prosecutors because we know what our communities need better than Austin does. That's why it was written so broadly. And that's where there was some confusion about what could be done. But if you look at the bill itself, it says that the prosecutors get to designate where the funds are used for those specific purposes, either attorneys, victim assistance coordinators, or investigators. Any other questions?
I make a motion, we approve.
Motion of Commissioner Snuggs to approve.
I do want to say one more thing. I know we talked about it before, but this is with the understanding that when the grant goes away,
Right. Yeah, all the grant does is it provides this benefit to us. When the grant is gone, we cannot continue to provide the benefit.
Yeah, very much so.
So that person will understand
Yes, sir.
up front.
Yeah, everybody understands it in both our offices.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none.
Thank you. I'll be back for
Motion
executive.
passes 5-0. Item number 10, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the maintenance request for additional funds of $1,855 for Century Fire Protection to install a Starlink cellular dialer in the fire panel at EMS number 1 and budget amendment for the same.
So when Four Feathers installed the panel and replaced the components that went with the panel, they sent us a contract for monitoring. And in all the documentation I sent to them, I've clearly stated we did not need any monitoring. So he told me that the panel that they put in there had a cellular dialer that was proprietary to him. So, and it was for $39.99 a month. Well, the monitoring that we already have in place is $9.99 per month. So I said, what can we do? And he said, well, I can send you a different quote with a different panel that's cheaper that doesn't have this proprietary dialer in it. So he did that. He already had the system basically replaced. So he put that panel in there. So I brought him the numbers to put in it so they could communicate with the monitoring company. He said, well, there's no dialer in this. So it can't communicate with anything. So I contacted Century, which is the monitoring company, and they will put a dialer in that panel, which will make it work for $1,855. Then we'll continue with the $9.99 a month monitoring. So that's what this is about. So the panel he put in there is about $600 cheaper than the other one was.
And if we don't do this, what is
The system will work. If there is a problem, it will set an alarm off in the building, but it will not call anybody.
will not call anybody?
It will not call the monitoring company who then dispatches the fire department or whatever.
And even after we spend this $1,800, it's going to be several $1,000s less than our other options were.
That's correct.
Move to approve.
Motion Commissioner Hollowell to approve item number 10.
Second.
Second Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Congratulations.
Thank you all very much.
Item number 10, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the election ballot for the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Board of Directors and authorize the county judge to sign the election ballot. Item number 11. Who's gonna,
So it looks like we have one person running.
My computer died.
Is that right?
Ellen Owens.
yes.
If that's all we got, I move to, or make the motion to approve. Let the judge sign it.
All right, motion Commissioner Arndt to approve.
Second that.
Second Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Item number 11 passes 5-0. Item number 12, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the agreement with John Cushing for cleaning and shaping of ditches on County Road 147. Commissioner Hollowell.
That's just our standard fence cleaning form that we have people fill out. We agree to clear the fence row, the trees and underbrush, and they have to agree to move their fence back 30 foot off the center of the road for our services. I would make the motion that we approve the judge's signature to that document, please.
Second.
Motion to approve is made by Commissioner Hollowell, second Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. That motion passes 5-0. Item number 13, deliberate and consider the possible action regarding various grant funds. None. Item number 13 is no action. Item number 14 has been added, and obviously it's an unusual circumstance due to this weekend's activities. So item number 14 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the emergency disaster declaration and all associated executive orders. And I understand this has been done before. This isn't unprecedented. So, Ray Fletcher, would you talk to us about it?
Good morning, gentlemen, and the citizens at large. Ray Fletcher, Cooke County Emergency Management Coordinator. As everyone's aware, we had a significant tornado event Saturday evening that ran from FM 922 at the West County line through Ralston, south of Era, and then impacted a heavily populated area off of West Lone Oak Road, and then progressed on down to the east to Lake Ray Roberts and Johnson Branch State Park, where it exited the county. The Weather Service has still tentatively now raised that classification to an EF3 tornado instead of an EF2 that they originally thought. That's 136 miles or somewhere over there, 140-ish, just depends. As a result of that, we had 7 fatalities, from as young as an infant of 2 years old to the oldest adult was 72 years old. So a very significant impact, and something we never want to take lightly or not remember how costly this has been. We had 69 patients transported for medical care, and then I'm sure there were a lot more than that who were self-transported that were also injured. Herculean effort by our first responders, our commissioners' precincts, first responders from surrounding counties, Texas Task Force 2, law enforcement. You know, we often are challenged by the size of our county and the resources we have, but that night we had everything and did a great job. It's an ongoing effort, though, from now. You know, we've completed the rescue phase and done all we can for that, but now comes a much longer and arduous period of recovery. Some of the challenges we're faced with, obviously, down there is helping the utilities get back on, helping those residents as best we can manage their recovery process, because every one of them is different, different degrees of damage, different degrees of capability to get their life back together. And so we are working with, again, the utility companies to get that going. We're helping the residents with the debris removal and the classification of the debris, and then the actual disposal of that debris, which is the big challenge. We are getting volunteers that are signing up, and I'll go over all of those numbers and opportunities to help them. We need to make sure that if you're a resident that had damage and needs help recovering, call the number at our VOAD, our Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster. They can help connect people who need help and people who want to help. And that's something we want to manage as best we can, so we don't have 100 volunteers show up at one place and nobody show up at the other. So we'll try to help everybody as best we can. But they can call the VOAD at 940-612-5323. That's 940-612-5323 is our VOAD, and that's if you can help or you need help. That's where we're going to connect those people and those resources. Another opportunity is to donate in cash. Frankly, donated goods, they've told me they're very comfortable with the level of water and food and those things at this point, but financial contributions so that we can directly assist these folks with something that can't really be just handed, but they need the money to help them recover and get a windshield fixed, or get gutters back on their house, fix their roof, that kind of thing. You can do that by contacting the First United Bank in Gainesville. It's the branch at Dixon and Broadway, and let them know that you want to donate to the VOAD, VOAD disaster account. There will be an online opportunity. I think it's already out there. We're going to firm that up today where people can donate online to that account. Right now, there is still a shelter open and being run by the Red Cross in Valley View at the school. Our goal is to help those folks find a more permanent solution to their housing needs. The community center at Valley View is a donation hub, and that's also where our VOAD is operating out of right now. And then the other various churches in Valley View are providing donations, management help, or food and other assistance as required. FEMA has granted Cooke County an individual assistance declaration, so that federal declaration has been approved and received. And so residents who did have damage as a result of these storms can go online and go to the FEMA website for disaster recovery, and they can do that, or they can call 800-621-3362. So they can either go online and fill out this information, or they can go to call FEMA at 800-621-3362. And that will start the process for any assistance that may be offered through FEMA. And the VOAD will also help them if they would like with that process and help them work their way, navigate through this process that they're going to have to run into. If your home was damaged, you had damage as a result of this, we'd also like you to go to the ISTAT individual statistics page with Texas to help us populate the numbers. How many homes were affected, how bad was the damage, and what help do you need? That is at damage.tdem.texas.gov, damage.tdem.texas.gov. G-O-V. So I know that's a lot of stuff, but if all you can do is call the VOAD, they'll help you get going on all this. And that's going to be our local volunteer organization, staffed by local people that are going to help and know who, how Cooke County works and how great our volunteer system is. Again, a terrible situation that, the level of response and the way everybody has just come together, and the only answer is yes, what can we do? And that's the great thing about our community and our county, our responders, our volunteers, and the citizens.
Ray, you reeled off a bunch of information there that was pretty hard to follow. Maybe is that information?
Yes, sir. It's on Facebook right now on the Cooke County Emergency Management page. It will be shared by the other pages already. I know that's happening, and we'll provide that press release. I think the media already has it. We put it out.
So anyone who has access to Facebook can get that information?
Yes, sir.
Or for people like me, know somebody who has access?
Yes, sir.
To
We already have volunteers who are going out to all of the affected areas to document the damage also. FEMA, when they get here, will be going out and walking those areas and going to every individual location to make contact also. So there'll be a very large outreach effort to make sure we get those folks in there that need the help they need.
We all spent a lot of time out there this last 3 days, and would you like to address the traffic problem out there?
Well, it's a little better today. Over the weekend, there was a huge traffic problem with people who wanted to help and maybe through a good heart showed up, but had no idea where they were going or what they were going to do. And so if you know somebody that has asked you to come help them, that's great. Otherwise, if you don't live down there or you don't have a specific reason to be there, don't go down there. You're creating more challenges and problems for the responders and the residents because they can't get in. We couldn't get an ambulance in or a fire truck if we had to yesterday. So if you don't live down there or you don't have a reason to be there specifically, we appreciate, but don't go there.
Well, I was with you yesterday. There was one incident, for instance, where a 5-year-old was injured, got cut by building material or whatever it was. And you're right, there's no way he would have had to have been carried out to an ambulance. There's not an ambulance.
Right, and it's a very unsafe environment down there. Yeah. There's debris, there's wires, there's a lot of opportunity to get hurt. We had a person cut their leg with a chainsaw. We had a child that ran into a piece of debris. It's not an environment to be taken lightly. There's a lot of opportunity to have a bad incident down there.
Well, okay. All you want from us today then is to, John need to sign?
Yes, so the two documents you have, one is a letter to the governor requesting assistance from the state, and the other is the disaster declaration by the county implementing or requesting or implementing a disaster declaration that will provide notification, number one, to everybody, but also provide some purchasing opportunities that we may be able to do differently in a much more expedited fashion. It provides a little more opportunity to make decisions quicker than we would normally have to do.
I'll make the motion that these documents regarding the emergency disaster declaration and all associated executive orders, the county judge will be able to sign those.
The motion was made, Commissioner Snuggs. Did you get all of that? Got it. Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hart. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none.
And
Passes
just
5-0.
thank you, sir, gentlemen. And just to mention that recovery is not a sprint; it's a marathon. We've dealt with it with the floods, with other events. It just takes time to get it done, and it's never fast enough for anybody. but we're all trying to do the fastest we can, the best way we can.
And the weather today so far, and
This week is
not
miserable.
helping a bit, is it?
No,
Sad.
we're gonna do what we can do.
Yeah. And with that also being said, our roads, we have tree limbs, we have
That's right.
wires. Be careful when you're driving. We got lanes open, just one lane to get a fire truck or an ambulance in, but we are not finished, but we only have so many hours and so many men to do it.
And I will add that
We're
too.
trying.
We had to halt tree removal today because all the places that we were gonna stack and burn are sopping wet. We'll get stuck getting our trucks.
That's a
in
very
now,
good
so
point. We do have
everything's on hold.
a mostly impacted area where the loss of life and the most structural damage is, but yeah, the debris and the damage in one degree or another is, the tornado itself was 48 miles long.
Yeah.
And so there's probably 15 to 20 miles of that just in Cooke County. And
It
so it's out there.
Stretches my whole precinct.
And it's gonna take months, and
It's-
the
yes.
weather's gonna continue to impact us, so it's gonna take some time.
And we have trees that are 150, 200 years old that are 5 foot in diameter laying across the roads, and we've got them cut and moved just to the side of the road, and that's all we just don't have the manpower to get it done. We're trying as fast as we can, but we got a lane open. Just be careful, please slow down and be very observant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Did I say item number 14 passes 5-0? Thank you. All right, with that, we have come to item number 15, which is executive session in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, the Government Code, Vernon's Texas Codes annotated. And we're going to consult with our attorney regarding 4 different possibilities: proposed actions and advice to the court, real property issues, contracts, or any personnel matters. And with that, I would ask that we clear the courtroom with the exception of Sheriff, if you would, and Ray, if you would remain here.
Make it time.
I was gonna say, sometime that, if I can, we're trying to work on things, it's not pressure, hard work, go through the territory.
All right, we are going to reconvene into regular session from executive session at 11:40. Thank you. There it is. Item number 16, deliberate and consider possible action regarding consultation with attorney regarding proposed actions and advice to the court, real property, contracts being negotiated, or any personnel matters. Anything I missed, or anybody have anything? If not, item number 16 is no action. Item number 17, do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs. Second, Commissioner Hollowell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 11:41.